place, the dad's introducing the kid to music, but they're like, nope, I'm introducing my dad. And so I was like, that was an extra cool spin on it, when it goes that way, where the kids are bringing their dads to find music.
That's cute.
G'day guys, it's Toby Rand from the Fell. You are listening to All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends.
Hello and welcome back to All Over the Place. I'm your host, Eric Porvoznik. Once again, thanking everybody out there in All Over the Place land. And let's get Jim back in here. Jim, it's been a big week, and just very our console video games is taken off in ways that I'm glad we did it timed up with the Galaxy movie, the Super Mario Galaxy. So I'm excited for that. So yeah. And I also just very quickly, I want to remind everyone that our friends would love to see you visit their site. So head on over to Danny Zalesko Presents, get all your live music events coming up over there. And also when you're in Scottsdale or you just want to order online, go to vinylrecorddude.com. And also make sure you're heading over to drumtalktvbrilliance.com. Dan and the gang there have so many cool interviews, extra backstage stuff. Head over there and see them. And also, we're always talking about, you need to check out what's going on. But we've got Kathy with us tonight, so we can also say, head on over to Instagram.com/RushFanatic, because Kathy's got so much going on right now, and you can get scooped there. So, Kathy, welcome back.
Hi.
And we've got with us tonight, Kathy, we saw at the top of the year out there at the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame Awards out there on the Sunset Strip. And we also ran into an old friend of mine from back in my LA days, the hard rock heavy metal scene. And we've got her on the show now. So I want to welcome MetalBabe, the mistress of the MetalBabe Mayhem. Welcome to the show, Alison Cohen. Thanks for joining us, Alison. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Like we mentioned, in the little segment at the top of the year, we knew each other from back at Stone Breed and all the bands that I was, had friends in, and just ran to Alison all the time. And, Alison, you're a Midwest gal who found herself on the Sunset Strip. And, what first drew you to going out there to the left coast, the Sunset Strip? And, when did you know that, hey, I've made it?
So the first part of the question, I knew it when I was in third grade. And it's so funny because people I grew up with made fun of me, because when I was in third grade, I told everybody I'm going to move to Los Angeles and I'm going to live in Hollywood and I'm going to work with bands. And they all made fun of me. And guess what? I'm doing it. So it was all because of Poison and Motley Crue. So I'm a teenager. I'm listening to songs, not even teenager, young, when I was about 10 years old when I first decided this. I'm listening to Poison and Motley Crue, and they're singing about the Sunset Strip, and I knew it all along. And then my parents took me and my sister out here to vacation quite a bit. I would ask, hey, can I go out there for this concert or that? And they would say, no, but we'll take you. And so they took me a lot out here. And I just knew along, but I also knew I wanted to do it right, because, again, back to Poison, they have a song called Fallen Angel, which I'm sure, all you guys know. Everybody listening should know this, right? So I did not want to be a fallen angel. So in 2000, Poison put out an album called Hollyweird, and on that album is a song called Shooting Star. And that song is about the girl who does make it. And that was when I decided, you know what, this is my time. And I got my bachelor's degree right around that time. I got that in January of 2004. And by April, I was on my own in Hollywood, determined to be a shooting star and not a fallen angel. And 20 years later, here I am.
I love that story. So how did you start getting into this? You had nice parents, by the way, to take you to those shows. How did you get your foothold in the scene then once you were out there?
So when I lived in St. Louis, Missouri, where I grew up, I was all about music and fashion. Even when I was going to college, I actually was working for a music marketing company called High Frequency, and I was their St. Louis rep, and I helped bands like Buck Cherry and Stained and Limp Bizkit. And I also worked at a rock and roll clothing store called Glad Rags. So that was my combined love, is music and fashion. And I moved out here in 2004, and I had an office job. I was actually, corporate, I got a tattoo on my hand once, and I was so scared I put a Band-Aid on it. Like, I was doing this whole corporate thing. But I met a coworker there, and she says to me, she's like, I've never met anybody who knows as much about music as you do. We should do something about that. And so we started brainstorming and we came up with the logo, which I have here. This is the famous Lips and Bones logo. I have it tattooed on my arm here. And we came up with that together, and we created one guitar pick and one t-shirt. And that officially came out in September of 06. So this year I have my 20-year anniversary of MetalBabe Mayhem. But that was the start. It just started with that. And I still have people to this day who have that guitar pick necklace, and they're like, they hold on to it for their dear life, because that's like a collector's item now, anybody who got that first necklace. Wow. And it escalated. I didn't really know exactly what it was going to be, but over the next 20 years, it's really become a lifestyle. It's not like go buy a t-shirt. It's like be a metal babe. Like Eric and Jim and Kathy, we're all metal babes. Everybody watching's a metal babe. Yeah. And that's my community that I have created, is to make everybody feel like they could be a metal babe. And I'm just living it and sharing, the MetalBabe Mayhem lifestyle, every day.
That's awesome. So you kind of started when, what was it, like MySpace back then?
It was, yeah. My first online social media was MySpace, yeah.
Crazy. And so did you always from the get-go kind of get onto the online thing, or did you ever actually have a storefront, or how were you doing it?
Grassroots marketing. That's still what I do. I'm basically a walking billboard. And everywhere I go, every time I've left my house in the last 20 years, hi, I'm Alison MetalBabe Cohen, and I'll give you a sticker, a button, a card, a discount, something. And it's basically just been word of mouth branding. And then I have, my community, and everywhere I go, I meet more people share the love, like all of you. I so appreciate you having me here. And I have a website, of course, it's metalbabemayhem.com. I do not have a brick and mortar just because it's so expensive. I looked at it and, there's just no way I could survive. Also, I like to travel, and I couldn't be stuck here. I can't run a store and travel the world. Yeah. So I would rather travel than actually be stuck with a brick and mortar. So I've created a business model where I can ship orders from anywhere in the world. So, I can travel and be anywhere in the world, and you can go to my website, metalbabemayhem.com, and buy something, and I can fulfill your order. So this way I have no overhead, no expenses, and I can still, run the rock and roll community online.
Yeah. The social media has been great for businesses like this.
Mm-hmm. And it's no longer, it's not the MySpace, but you can get Alison on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and, it's just so much there. And it's at metalbabemayhem.com. No, it's just at MetalBabe Mayhem. No doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, all the social media is at MetalBabe Mayhem.
Which is a great name. Did you ever run into anything where people were trying to do something similar with a similar name? Because,
it's funny you say that. Yes. One of the issues I have, I'll call him out now because I called him out like 15 years ago, is there's a promoter here in Los Angeles. His name's Nick. He's in an Alice Cooper tribute, Nightmare. And I was in Nightmare. That's a whole side story. I was in the Alice Cooper band as an actress for quite a few years. I played everything from Frankenstein to the dominatrix to the nurse, the doctor. But we were, close together in this band for years. And then I kind of, went my own way. We're still friends. I actually went and performed with him last New Year's, just like as, nostalgia. But he named his night Metal Mayhem. And I was like, there's a million words. Why did you have to take mayhem from me? So yeah, I didn't like that. But one of the issues I've had, honestly, Kathy, is it's not metal. And if I could go back and I could take away the metal part, I think it would have been more successful, because I have heard hundreds of times, well, I don't like metal. But this is one of my shirts here. It's a record with stars and a skull. Yeah. You don't have to like metal to like this t-shirt.
Right.
So it's more rock and roll. So I really kind of feel like I pigeonholed myself by calling it metal, but I'm way too invested at this point, to change it. So I just have to always tell people, hey, it's not all metal. It's just basically it's rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for alliteration, so I think it flows rather nicely.
I agree. It does roll off the tongue, which is great.
Yeah, and here's something funny, and I mean, who knows how many people listening may have this issue, and I swear I didn't know because I'm a grammar freak and I love the alliteration as well. But people can't spell mayhem, and I had no idea it was a hard word. I had no clue, but I have had so many people spell mayhem wrong over the years, and it's kind of crazy because it's online. Of course, is the only way I would know they spelled it wrong, but people spell it all kinds of ways. And
Okay, I'm curious because with the last name like Provoznik, I have seen every last spelling known to man. How are people misspelling mayhem? Especially when it's metal, and Tommy Lee has named one of his sons Mayhem. So
yeah, I know. If Tommy Lee can spell it, most common misspelling is with an A. People will put MAYHAM, but I've seen it without a Y. I've seen ME. I've seen MEYHEM. So yeah, the variations are crazy. So again, if I could go back, I would not have used metal, and I would make it something easier to spell than mayhem. But again,
meat lovers unite and get your mayhem. What?
That's funny because out of the many words in the English language, that's one of the ones that actually spelled like it sounds.
Yeah,
you get that one right, but
I know, and there's only one way to spell it. It's not, it's homophone. I think the words that they sound the same, but they're spelled differently. It's actually just one way to spell it, like
yeah,
and it sounds like it.
That's funny.
English, it will divide us. Ugh, anyway. Now you mentioned Poison with Fallen Angel and Shooting Star at the beginning of the show, and of course Ricky Rocket was there at the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame getting inducted that night. And have you ever related that story to any of the guys in Poison? And if so, what was their reaction?
So on my arm, the same arm as my MetalBabe tattoo, see these stars right here? This is actually transcribed a line from the song, and it says, I am someone, I am something, I am a shooting star. The notes are here on my arm, and it was just good timing that about a month after I got this tattoo, Bret Michaels played the Hard Rock in Hollywood, and it was just like a solo show. It was free, and I've met Bret. Bret was one of the first bands I met as a teenager. I've met him dozens of times, and he's just always amazing, and I showed him that tattoo, and he was so happy about it, and I have a picture of him pointing at it, and I actually have another picture of him, fast forward down the line. I gave him a MetalBabe shirt, and I'm holding the shirt and a guitar pick, and so yeah, I've told Bret. I don't think I've ever actually told Ricky. Me and Ricky, have kind of become, friends, acquaintances, just, being out and about all this time, and with Rocket Drums and seeing him at NAMM. I don't know if I ever told Ricky or anybody else, but Bret knows.
It's a great story. You should tell him that for sure. He was a really nice guy too. Mm-hmm. He was very down to earth to talk to at the awards show. And
hopefully Ricky watches this video and he can hear.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He will be tagged as he was with the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the lyrics are on the arm. This is it gets better and better.
That's the goal here,
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get to the good stuff, right?
Now, do you mostly listen to the music still that you grew up with back in those days when you were starting out? Is that your jam still, or are you, what do you like that you're listening to that's newer?
That's a really, really great question, because no, not at all.
I'm the same way.
Listen, I mean, of course I support it. I love those kind of bands forever. But I feel like people always kind of put me in this little box. Like people that I grew up with, they still don't understand. You know what? That was a long time ago. And right around the time I moved here, I found a band called Wednesday 13. Do you guys know him?
Who is it? No.
Wednesday 13.
Wednesday 13,
Yeah, I have his tattoo here and another one for him here. But I saw Wednesday 13 play at the Whiskey. And it was funny because I went with a friend, and I was going to see the Peppermint Creeps, which was a local band here that I absolutely loved. And my friend says, if you like the Peppermint Creeps, you're going to love Wednesday. And he was right. Wednesday changed my life as far as music, because since that day in 2004, I've been on like this horror rock kick. Wednesday 13 is kind of like Alice Cooper meets Kiss.
Interesting.
Yeah. So high energy rock with anthematic choruses. And pump your fists in the air, catchy lyrics, but he does a stage show. He's got different masks and different props, skulls and axes, so he does this full stage show. So since that day, that's just set me on the spiral. So I've been listening to bands like Davey Suicide. I actually notice is behind me here. This is Davey Suicide right here. And I love a band called Mr. Misery. They're my number one favorite band right now. They're from Stockholm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I've actually gone to Europe to see them 4 times. I've interviewed them 3 times and seen them 6 times total.
Wow.
So they're my number one favorite band right now. My local band, I actually want to give a shout out to. My number one favorite local band right now is called Razor Candy.
Razor, that's a great name.
Yes, and they just put out a brand new single. You can find them on Razor Candy. It's called Golden Boy. It's something like that. I think it's like a tie-in with the movie.
Well, we'll put our crack research staff on that one. We'll put up the right.
Yeah, so Razor Candy is actually playing their first show ever, like a full show. It's at the Whiskey, and it is May 30th. So to give a shout out to that, I met them at a horror convention. So I'm really into the horror stuff and the I call it like horror rock. But yes, I love my
theatrical.
Sorry.
Theatrical.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, then you got to have Ice Nine Kills on your radar then.
I need to get more familiar. I only know a little bit. I mean, you guys can tell me. They seem like they should fit in. I have pulled them up on YouTube, but I haven't listened.
Sounds perfect. Well, I saw them open for Metallica 2 tours ago. So I think 26. Yeah, when I first moved out here in 2017, and then I saw them as headliners last year.
Okay.
And that full-on blown-out show. They've got chainsaws on stage. Fake blood, or it could be real blood. I don't know, but blood everywhere. I think you would dig them. That definitely dig further into that one. Yeah,
I need to. I'm glad that you mentioned that again, because that's somebody who's been on my radar. I haven't seen them live. I definitely need to do that, but I should dig in more because you're right. That's definitely right up my alley.
And they do a good tie-in with the movie American Psycho. They sing a song about that, so it was really cool live.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like a lot of the bands I like, they sing about horror music. Horror movies, they go to the horror conventions. That's where I found Razor Candy. We have a convention here called Monster Palooza that it's twice a year, and it's all Halloween related. People are dressed up in costumes, and there's vendors. I've set up a booth there actually before, but that's where I found Razor Candy. He was ironically in the same row as Wednesday 13, and Chad Cherry was there, who I didn't know until that day, but he told me about his band, and I asked what it sounded like. And I said, that sounds right up my alley. And I bought a vinyl, which, vinyls are expensive. You don't normally buy a vinyl, a band you just met, but 2 seconds in, I knew it. I was going to love them. And they actually just put out a new vinyl record that is in the shape of a razor. It's for their 2 singles ago called Chrome. And I just got that, and it's in the shape of a razor, which is, totally awesome and unique.
Cool.
That's funny.
And as a kid of the 70s and 80s who lived through the scare of looking for apples, that I'm digging it. I'm liking the
So one of the videos is all about it. It's razors and the candy, and you literally see the apple and the razor and stuff. So yeah, that's exactly where it came from.
Bring back the childhood trauma.
Oh yeah.
Probably for more the parents. I would think if you're a parent, that might have been more trauma. For the kid, you don't care. You just want the candy.
Yeah.
And we didn't want an apple anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you start trading stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I want your Kit Kat.
Hunting for the mythical full bars.
Oh gosh, we had a place in our subdivision I grew up that had the full candy bar. We couldn't walk there, but my parents would drive us there. But what's funny is where I live now, I'm in the full bar candy section. Like seriously, where I live is in Toluca Lake, and this is where Bob Hope lived. Like this is a really nice area, but I'm in an apartment. Like I'm not in a nice house here, but we're the only apartment like in the area. So yeah, so on Halloween, we actually moved into this apartment, ironically, Halloween, and there's hundreds and hundreds of kids on the street. Like it's insane. And we got to share this story. I lived in Toluca Lake too. I was I was Riverside, and it was one of the off ramps there in 134. But have you been to the house where the guy they've got the big screen projector? They show nothing but Halloween movies all day and all night too. And then on Halloween, the guy
It could be a gal in there. I don't know, but he dresses up in a bunny an Easter bunny costume, really freaky. And then he rides around on a little motorbike. Have you seen this guy?
No, I don't know if he still does it. I feel like I've heard about it.
I mean, I've been gone for almost 10 years now. So, but that was one of the thrills of living in that neighborhood. Oh, because you have people who work at the studios too, and all these creature feature guys. So yeah, it's a great place to be, Toluca Lake, for Halloween.
Yeah, and then also now, just in about the last 3 years or so, Magnolia Boulevard has become, for some reason, like the horror section of like this entire city. There's one after another. We have a horror vibes coffee. We have Mystic Museum that does like exhibits. There's a horror candy store. So that has totally blown up. And then our big thing now is called the Burbank Clown House. So I don't know if they, replaced what you're talking about, but that's like the big thing now. And it's a major attraction, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year. So I'm in the right area. Like, I love it. I've always loved Halloween. So
well, you have a mission now, and I'll shoot you the cross streets, but yeah, it's not too far off of 134 and Cahuenga.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will go this year and see if it's still there.
It's a hoot. And the guy, it's freaky. He just rides around on this little motorbike.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
In an Easter bunny costume.
So, Allison, do you feel like right now that are you seeing a scene starting to happen again on the Sunset Strip, and is a lot of the rock stuff coming back and a lot of new bands?
I feel like there is. And another time we all have is on the red carpet. I know Eric interviewed a band called Wicked. That's one of the things I watched today. And they're an up and coming band. And I feel like there's a lot of that. There was another band out that day that was promoting themselves. So I do feel like a lot of, it's almost like a new wave, like of these early 20s somethings coming out to Los Angeles to follow their dreams, like they did in the 80s. I feel like it's starting to happen again. And then that's our next generation. So I think it's awesome. And I do think it's coming back, because I'm finding a lot of these younger bands coming out like that.
It's funny. I just discovered on Instagram today, 2 young kids who totally dress and look 80s. They've got the 80s hairdos, 2 guys, and they do these funny videos on their Instagram, and they're blowing up. And the singer of Steel Panther just shared their account. And of course I went and looked, and they're hysterical. I mean,
I've seen it. I know exactly what you're talking about. They've got the big hair, and they do funny videos. They put the text on the screen. Yeah,
it's fun. It's super fun. It's just fun to see some of the younger kids are really grabbing onto it.
Yeah, definitely. And then another thing you see now is a lot of people, in their 40s, 50s, whatever, they're bringing their kids to shows.
Yeah.
And I find myself, having good conversation. Even back to Wednesday 13, I was at one of his shows a few weeks ago, and standing right next to me was 2 13-year-olds with their dad, with one of the girls' dad. There were 2 friends. And I'm, just talking to them. I talk to everybody, here's what I may have, right? So I'm always talking to everybody around me. And they told me they brought the dad with them. Normally it's the dad's introducing the kid to music, but they're like, nope, I'm introducing my dad. So I was like, that was an extra cool spin on it, when it goes that way, where the kids are bringing their dads to find music.
That's cute.
And I'm glad, Kathy, I'm glad you brought this up. Kids having fun with it, and Wicked. These guys recognize rock and roll is meant to be fun.
Yeah.
And Allison, what's your take on that? And seeing that these kids on Instagram and bands coming up, is the scene capturing the fun aspect of it?
I love it. I'm one of those people who hates grunge, and I don't care. I was, the Nirvana put the nail in my hairband coffin. I don't care what anybody says. I will never like that. So to me, it should be fun. And they were the first ones to take all the fun out of it. And here's my t-shirt and, grungy pants. Let's take away all of like the stage show of it all. So I've just, I've turned my back on all of it. I was in high school when all that happened. I'm wearing my Poison and my Motley Crue shirts to school. Everybody else is wearing, Nirvana and Alice in Chains. And I'm like, never get into that kind of stuff. So yes, it should be about the fun. Like there's even bands like my husband, he listens to like stoner rock and like doom metal and stuff, and they don't even have singers sometimes. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do it. Like, I want a singer to high five me and hand me the mic. And, I want some interaction with, there's not even a singer sometimes. I'm like, I'll go look at the merch stand, I can't do it, which I've done.
You need a sing along. You need a beck and call. You need to have fun. Good Lord.
Do you ever sell your merch at some of the shows?
Definitely, yeah. But it's also, it has to be worth it. And to me, I've said this a million times, it's the same exact amount of work, whether I sell one thing or 100 things.
Yeah.
And I have to be picky and choosy because literally every day somebody's like, hey, you want to set up your merch? But to me, I know they mean it as a compliment. They want to support me. They want me to make money and be present, whatever. But if I'm not going to sell anything, it's not worth it. And
Yeah.
I even set up at the Whiskey on St. Patrick's Day. And it was a disaster because nobody bought anything. And it's like, okay, I'm like, it's the same amount of work. It's basically 3 days worth of work. Like I spent a whole day prepping, a whole day there, and then a whole day putting it all away, just to make $45. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like I'm sticking to my guns. Like I knew better. It was at night, St. Patrick's Day. Nobody's going to come out because people like to go out during the day, St. Patrick's Day here.
Right.
And it's not worth it, but I am setting up on May 31st at Rockford Dio, which is at the Autry in Griffith Park. And that's my favorite event of the year to set up. So I will have a full tent set up May 31st for Rockford Dio.
Oh, awesome.
Very cool.
Talk to us about that because I know that it's, I was at the inaugural Stand Up and Shout Against Cancer event, like 2012, I think it was, around about that time frame. And, it's still going on. And talk to us about the one that's coming up in May.
So it has been really just expanding and growing, ever since I remember the 2012 as well. So it is put on by Stand Up and Shout, and Wendy Dio is a really, big part of it, organizer, and she works with her daughter, who is awesome. I love her daughter. She was on the red carpet also.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wendy, they walked the red carpet together. And so the daughter is a main organizer of this event. And last May was the first time that I had a booth there. And it was just so great because, one, I love daytime events like the rainbow parties, which you guys know they do twice a year. And then that are kind of my three favorite things to do all year. And so I'm really looking forward to this one. So this is May 31st. It goes all day. It's a Sunday. It goes from 11 to 6. You can buy tickets online at the diocancerfund.org. And they have Lita Ford as a headliner, Dio Disciples, a few other bands. They do an all-star jam. And I will be there. I will have a tent set up, and I'm going to have so much merch there that I'm getting just for this. I'm getting hats. Back to Razor Candy, Chad Cherry is making me some custom MetalBabe hats and patches that I will have that don't even exist yet, but I'll have them, which I'm very excited about. I just made that connection. I'm going to have bandanas. The necklace I have on now that you can only get from me in person, or if you message me, of course I can ship, but I'll have these. I've got custom necklaces that are like the horns up, tons of shirts. So I'll have a major merch booth at the events May 31st, Rockford Dio. So I'm super excited.
That sounds like it'll be a great event and great for you too.
Yes, and it's a great cause, and it's just such a fun day. It's just everybody's just great people, great community, and just again being outdoors for the day, celebrating, Ronnie James Dio, making money for the Cancer Fund and enjoying rock and roll and selling MetalBabe merch. Like,
yeah,
I love it.
You got to see if you can get one to Lita Ford, right?
I gave Lita a button one time at NAMM at the convention. One of the first times I had met her, actually, I was handing out buttons. Like I said, I'm always handing out something. Yeah. And I showed her the button, and it had Lips and Bones on it. She was doing a meet and greet, and she says, "Oh my gosh, that's so cute!" And she put it right on.
Oh, that's awesome.
She does not have a shirt, though. You're right. I should bring her a shirt.
That's what I'm thinking. She would look really cool in a shirt, especially if she wore it on stage. Would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, I'm going to bring Lita a shirt.
And you also have another event coming up in May, and that would be featuring a guest on the show not too long ago, and that'd be Toby Rand. And you're going to be doing the Rockstar reunion.
Oh,
show.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yes. So right before Dio, 10 days before that, it's May 21st. It's at the Avalon in Hollywood. Tickets are on sale now. If you go to rockstarreunionlive.com, it is a 20-year reunion of Rockstar. So in my mind, I remember Rockstar Supernova. Well, that was around 20 years ago because I was in the audience and I was a big fan of the show because I love Gilby Clarke. I did notice Gilby Clarke's in my interview.
Oh, there you go.
Too. A drumhead from Gilby Clarke. But yeah, Gilby Clarke was on the show with Tommy Lee and Jason Newsted, and I was in the audience, which is kind of crazy full circle. Like, who would have thought when I'm in there, fangirling after the show, like 20 years later, I'd be like working side by side on this project to bring it back. So it's 20-year reunion. We have all original singers coming back. We have 6 from the first season. We've got Toby, Mig, and Ty, and Tara, and we've got Toby coming back from the Supernovas. We've got 7 of the original singers and the original house band, which has Paul Markovic and Nate, and they haven't played together in 20 years. So it's going to be this amazing night in Hollywood.
Off some rust, rock it out.
How did you get hooked up with that, Alison?
My husband is an editor on The Voice. The TV show.
Way.
Yeah, he's been on it since the first season. He's an online editor, and he works in The Voice. I worked on it, actually. I worked 5 seasons at one point. This was a while back. I actually worked on it as a transcriber. I did 5 seasons, typing. I got stories on that, but right now my husband is still on The Voice, and his boss is working a video for this reunion show, and he's talking to the main guy, David Goffin, and they're working together, and Grant's boss says, do you have somebody to do merch? And David's just like, no, you have somebody in mind. And so he's like, yes, I have somebody for you. So basically I got referred by Robert to do merch, and this is how much merch I'm doing now. Like, it's completely blown up. I'm basically like right-hand woman on this show. I'm in connected with every aspect of this. I have a title of senior producer, which I'm honored, and I am doing the merch. We've got tons of great merch. We have t-shirts, tank tops, long sleeve shirts, hats, earplugs, necklaces, tons of great merch. It's all for sale on the website and at the event. So I will be working the merch booth at the event, and I'm just helping get the word out any way that I can right now. So yeah, anybody listening, if you guys want to come out, it's May 21st, Avalon. It's rockstarreunionlive.com.
That is way cool. And Toby is a great guy. We interviewed him, and they just did the show. They just went out and did their little mini tour to try out, the Fell, the new band, and got a great reaction. He's a killer frontman.
Oh yeah.
I've been following that since I got connected with the show. I've been following that, been following the Fell, and then I know we're going to be bringing Toby back to your show at some point.
Yeah, well, you let the cat out of the bag, Alison, and so yeah, sometime in the next few weeks, Alison's going to be coming back, and we're going to be, Toby. We're hopefully going to be able to corral him and a couple other people that are going to be featured. So yeah, I'm excited for this, and and a quick shout to where it all began: Rockstar in Excess, which is how we got JD Fortune involved briefly with my boys in Excess. So yeah, this is all very exciting stuff, and I don't know, it's going to be one or the other for me, but I have a feeling I'm going to be doing everything possible. And Jim, come on down. We'll see if we can work it out over Memorial Day weekend. That might be it, but I would love to be there for the Rock for Ronnie. And that
yes, you should.
There's so many great people there.
Yeah, come out and do interviews. You can stand at the MetalBabe Mayhem booth and do interviews.
Hey, I'll get one of the cool logos shirts. Absolutely.
I wish I could go. I always have to miss the weekend stuff, but
yeah. Well, hopefully Eric and Jim can come down.
Yes.
For that.
And I think Marty will be back in New York by that point. So who knows? And very quickly, I try to find something as metal as possible. And thank God Marty can't be with us tonight. He's coming back from New York at the moment as we're recording. But I broke out a Cliff Burton shirt that he got me for Christmas a few years ago. So metal up your ass, Marty. Thank you. Kill them all. Or sorry,
Marty's being represented.
Flip them all. So, but now again, folks, make sure you're checking out MetalBabe Mayhem, and spell mayhem properly, people. Not mayhem, MAYHEM. Buy the proper vowel. Oh my gosh,
not that hard.
People, I know. Well, and I think it's time right now, and I'll fix this in editing as necessary. But we got a new feature on the show. We're going to break it in with Alison. It's
Make up your mind, dude. Make up your mind, dude. Make up your mind, dude.
and in this case it'd be Dudette. But we're gonna do a little like a this or that or either or, and just gonna rifle through it, Allison. And you know, in light of all the conversation we had earlier, and as they're the inspiration, I know that saying this or that band, I know what it would be now. So I got to come up with I know who it's gonna be.
Okay. So I choose one or the other.
It's one or the other, and don't think about it. Clear the brain.
Okay,
as we
I got this.
Get into. Once again, we get into.
Make up your mind, dude. Make up your mind, dude. Make up your mind, dude.
All right, so
I'm gonna have to take that button away from you. I can tell.
Well, I'll freeform it. Make up your mind, dude. Make up your mind, dude. And I just very quickly, I was substituting the last 3 days, and every day when people get there late to class, I automatically throw in I get so lonely when the final bell rings and all my class isn't here yet. So let's see. Also today was there was monster lines at the food court. I couldn't make it in time. So yeah, there's a lot of fast times at Ridgemont High.
That's so cool.
And that button, Kathy, you may need to take that away from me. You're right. So we'll see how much fun I have with it. So Allison, here we go. Metal Babe herself, denim or leather?
Leather. But pleather. I'm going to say pleather.
Oh, pleather. Oh, we're definitely getting an 80s kick there. I like it. Okay, maiden or priest?
Definitely maiden.
Marty's not here. He would have liked that answer. That's why. All right. Rat or Cinderella?
Ooh.
I'll choose Cinderella because it was my first concert ever.
Oh. Jealous. All right. Backstage or front row?
Both.
Not one or the other. Backstage
I always do both. Okay, I'll choose front row.
Okay. Bon Scott or Brian Johnson?
I don't really have an opinion. I guess I'll say Bon Scott.
Jim's doing his best not to seethe down there. All right.
No, I'm with you on that one.
All right.
I'm not a really AC/DC fan, but
all right. A quick switch into movies right now. Rockstar or Almost Famous?
Almost Famous, definitely.
Oh,
I love that. I love that movie.
It's a hard one there, but yes, I would go that direction myself. And right now, in honor of Rock for Ronnie and Rock for Dio, Heaven and Hell or Mob Rules?
Heaven and Hell.
Holy Diver or Last in Line?
ooh, that's tough.
I'm going to say Holy Diver.
Folks, I should have started this out. There is no wrong answer to any of these Q&A. None whatsoever.
I like this. This is
There's
fun.
you.
Okay, I have a good one, and you guys have to answer this. Are you ready?
Oh,
I love the turnabout on this. It is fair play.
Yeah.
Okay, Black Sabbath, Ronnie James Dio or Ozzy?
Jim, you go first. We're going to go Bubba Baby bottoms up.
Ozzy for sure.
I'm gonna say Ozzy too.
I'm also going to go Ozzy, but those two with Ronnie were kick-ass albums.
I'm going to go with Dio. I love Ozzy, but I love Ozzy. But Sabbath, I like my Ronnie.
And I will say this, although it was titled, the band was Heaven and Hell by that point, but The Devil You Know, that was a hell of a way, pardon the phrasing on that one, for Ronnie James Dio for his final recording.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that is our first round of Make Up Your Mind, Dude, or Dudette. And again, I want to thank Alison MetalBabe Cohen for coming on the show. You've got 2 events coming up in May and going to be back very soon to talk about one of them a little bit more in depth. And make sure you're heading over to www.metalbabemayhem.com for all things kick-ass lifestyle rock and roll metal babe.
Yes, and let's tell them about your special promo code.
Oh, that's right. There's the promo code, which I failed to write down with all the things all the subbing and umping I was doing today. So that's on me, bad producer Eric. So Allison, go ahead and tell everybody, and I will make sure that it is across the ticker as well for those who are watching.
So anybody listening can go to metalbabemayhem.com and use the promo code all over the place 15. That's all over the place 15, and you can save 15% just for viewers and listeners of this show.
Does that count for hosts?
Of course.
We might be able to sneak a 20%, Kathy. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Actually, Kathy, I'll mail you a tank top. I'd
Yes,
love to see you.
and I will wear it. I'll wear it on stage. I'll wear that.
I will totally hook that up. I would love
Kathy's
to
got an
see
all over the place tank top coming. She'll have a Metal Babe Mayhem tank
I'm gonna
top
have a
coming.
full wardrobe.
This
Yes.
is awesome.
I love that.
And also make sure you're checking out Kathy and her sister's line, the Backstage Thrifters, for more awesome clothing.
That's fun. Yeah, we do fun stuff on there.
Yes, I need to do that. I was checking out your music video earlier, though, Kathy. I watched that earlier today. That was cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm working on my second song, my second original, and that should be coming out this year. So we're almost finished recording, and we just have to do the artwork and all that stuff. But
Exciting.
you'll like it. It's more of a female sort of hard rock kind of metal song. It's interesting. It's called Angel with a Broken Heart.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
And that's not what we'll be bringing Kathy back as a guest, not a co-host. We'll come up with something cool for that. We'll figure it out at that point. But yes.
Yeah.
But till then, make sure you're checking out Kathy, everything going on with her over at Instagram.com/RushFanatic. And, also Danny Zalesko Presents and Vinyl Record Dude and Drum Talk TV. And once again, make sure you're checking out www.metalbabemayhem.com and Alison on all the socials and YouTube. And that's at Metal Babe Mayhem. Thanks again, Alison, for coming on the show. Can't wait to have you back really soon to talk about the Rockstar reunion.
Yes,
Thank you.
Allison,
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
you were fun. You're awesome. Love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Bring in the fun sanity, the fun of the fun sanity. Love it.
Exactly. Love it. All right. Thank you.
And thanks for watching, sharing, subscribing, everybody. And we will be back real soon here on All Over the Place. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
All over the place, where the fun sanity never ends.